Welcome to the latest edition of this Warship TV special, with this edition dedicated to capturing the very latest naval action, highlights and movements as filmed by the Warship TV film crews nationwide. So please sit back and relax as we enjoy some of the highlights coming up in this edition. We begin with a view of one of the Royal Navy's longest serving frigates, HMS Argyle, as she leaves Devonport and heads out to sea on the 30th of April. HMS Argyle was the third Type 23 frigate to be built, but is now the oldest frigate serving in the Royal Navy, with her two sisters, HMS Norfolk and HMS Marlborough, having been sold to the Chilean Navy. Built by Yarrow shipbuilders on the Clyde, she was launched on the 8th of April 1989, being commissioned into the fleet on the 31st of May 1991, and is today normally based at Devonport. In 2015, she entered Devonport for an extensive LifeX refit and became the first Type 23 to be fitted with the new Sea Scepter missile system, which replaced the previous Seawolf, and this gives her a range in excess of 25 kilometres. In addition, she is also fitted with anti-ship Harpoon launchers and Stingray torpedoes. The Type 23 frigates are 436 feet long and have a displacement of 5,400 tons. They are powered by 4 Paxman Valenta diesel generators with 2 Rolls-Royce Spey gas turbines, producing just over 31,000 horsepower, which allow these capable frigates to reach speeds in excess of 28 knots. The Royal Navy currently has 13 Type 23 frigates, and the 5 oldest are classified as general purpose frigates. Now over 30 years old, these older frigates operate in the general purpose role and are scheduled to be replaced by the much larger Type 31 from 2027 onwards, with HMS Argyle scheduled to decommission in 2023. Turning to some of the Royal Navy's smallest vessels, we see HMS Express as she follows HMS Argyle out of Devonport. A member of the P2000 class, these coastal training craft are primarily used to support the Royal Navy's university units, with HMS Express attached to the University of Wales. HMS Express is certainly one of the service's smallest commission vessels, with a displacement of just 54 tons. She normally has a complement of 5, with accommodation for up to 12 undergraduates, and is powered by twin Rolls-Royce diesel engines which generate almost 1600 horsepower, giving a top speed of 20 knots. Following the departure of HMS Express, an even smaller vessel is one of the Royal Navy's C-class of workboats, which we see as she heads towards Devonport at Devil's Point. The C-class boats are multi-role workboats that have been designed so as they can be configured in a number of different ways for different operational roles within the Royal Navy. Next, we head to Portsmouth and see some of the small vessels coming in and out of the harbour in preparation for the departure of HMS Queen Elizabeth. First, we see HMS Sabre, a member of the Scimitar class of fast patrol vessels, and she is powered by 2 MAN V10 diesel engines which produce 740 horsepower and give her a top speed in excess of 27 knots. HMS Sabre was built by VT Halmatic in Southampton, and she originally served as a Louth patrol vessel in Northern Ireland, operated by the Royal Marines. Commissioned in January 1993 and originally named Grey Wolf, she served for almost 10 years with the Royal Marines before being transferred to serve with the Royal Navy. When commissioned into the fleet, HMS Sabre was used for police, rescue and customs purposes with the Gibraltar Squadron. In September 2020, Sabre and her sister HMS Scimitar returned to Portsmouth, and they are due to be replaced in 2022 by 2 new patrol vessels, which are described as being more capable and faster. These 2 new vessels, costing £9.9 million, are going to be larger than the Scimitar class at 62 feet in length and are designed to reach speeds in excess of 40 knots. Next, we see an historic vessel as HMS Medusa, a 1943 built harbour defence motor launch, enters the Haslar Marina in Gosport. She was built by R.A. Newman & Sons in Poole and is now the last of her class of 464 vessels that is in original condition and still seaworthy. Harbour defence motor launches, such as HMS Medusa, were intended to act as an offshore defence and to protect harbours and estuaries against the threat of German submarines. Thankfully, the coastal threat from the German Navy never materialised, but it did result in these small launches being well armed and equipped with ultra-quiet low-speed diesel engines and large fuel tanks, which gave them a long range of up to 2,500 miles. When built in 1943, she was simply known as HDML 1387 and took part in the American practice assault at Slapton Sands in Devon in May 1944 before serving as a navigation leader at Omaha Beach at D-Day. In 1952, she became a hydrographic survey vessel and in 1961 was named Medusa before being paid off at Devonport in 1965. Another historic craft was Type 2 landing craft assault vessel number F8, which was one of 4 vessels that was on board HMS Fearless when she was dispatched to the South Atlantic in April 1982. And she played a major role in the Falklands conflict, landing Royal Marines onto the Falkland Islands. And from the past to the present, we go from one of the Royal Navy's smallest vessels to her largest ever, as on the 1st of May we see HMS Queen Elizabeth departing Portsmouth to join other Royal Navy and NATO forces for Exercise Strike Warrior, where she would join HMS Defender, HMS Diamond and HMS Kent, which had earlier sailed from Portsmouth, and HMS Richmond, which had sailed from Devonport.
Yeah, I know.
Exercise Strike Warrior was due to run from the 8th to the 20th of May off the coast of Scotland, involving some 31 warships and 3 submarines from 10 different nations, with over 13,000 military personnel involved. This was to be the largest and the most demanding exercise carried out to date, and would be HMS Queen Elizabeth's final test with the carrier strike group, before heading off on her first operational deployment to the Mediterranean, Indian Ocean and Asia Pacific region. The flagship for the exercise was naturally HMS Queen Elizabeth, the lead ship of the new Queen Elizabeth class of aircraft carriers. Built by Aircraft Carrier Alliance at Rosyth Dockyard in Scotland, she has cost over £6.2 billion to construct, and is the result of a design programme over 25 years in the making. Her construction began in July 2009, with her being launched on the 17th of July 2014, being commissioned into the fleet in December 2017.
I knew you would probably be in those 2 bits at the back, but
HMS Queen Elizabeth is 920 feet long and displaces an immense 65,000 tons, and is over 3 times the size of the Invincible class carriers that she replaces. She is 128 feet wide at the waterline and 240 feet wide overall, making her almost twice as wide as the old Invincible class. She is powered by 2 Rolls-Royce marine gas turbines and 4 diesel engines, which give her a claimed top speed of 32 knots. Having spent the last few months in British waters, we see HMS Protector as she returns to her home of Devonport on the 14th of May. Protector is the Royal Navy's only ice patrol warship, and for almost 11 months she is normally deployed in the waters of Antarctica and the Southern Hemisphere. Protector was built in Lithuania and was launched on the 21st of July 2001. She originally operated as a Norwegian polar research icebreaker and subsea support vessel, receiving the name Polar Bear. However, in 2011 she was chartered by the Ministry of Defence as a short-term replacement for HMS Endurance, and this led to her being purchased by the MOD for the Royal Navy. Protector has a displacement of 5,000 tons and is 292 feet long with a beam of 59 feet and a draft of 27 feet. She is powered by two Rolls-Royce Bergen BR8 engines which generate 4,741 horsepower and give her a maximum speed of 15 knots. She is also equipped with a Rolls-Royce controllable pitch propeller as well as bow and stern thrusters. Today, HMS Protector is based at Devonport, together with the Royal Navy's other survey ships, but she remains the Royal Navy's only ice patrol vessel and is able to glide through ice up to half a metre thick. When deployed, Protector operates a number of boats and landing craft, including a survey motorboat and a rigid workboat, as well as two Pacific 22 ribs. Built with a helicopter pad as well, she also carries three BV-206 all-terrain vehicles and quad bikes and trailers for moving equipment and stores in Antarctica. For a research vessel, she is also well armed, being equipped with 4 miniguns and 5 general-purpose machine guns. During May, the German frigate Bayern spent time engaged in flag officer sea training based at Devonport, returning to Devonport Naval Base on the 15th of May. A Brandenburg Class frigate, she is one of 4 frigates of this type that were intended as direct replacements for the ageing Hamburg class. She was built in the shipyards at Emden and launched on the 30th of June 1994, and after successful sea trials she was commissioned into the German fleet in June 1996. Bayern has a displacement of almost 4,500 tons and is 456 feet long with a beam of 55 feet. She is powered by 2 MTU diesel engines combined with 2 General Electric gas turbines, which gives this frigate a top speed of 29 knots, and this gives her a range of 4,000 nautical miles at a constant speed of 18 knots. Normally based at Wilhelmshaven Naval Base in Lower Saxony, she carries a complement of 26 officers and 193 enlisted crew. The Brandenburg Class represent a potent symbol of Germany's naval power, and they are armed with one Milera 76mm multi-purpose naval gun and two Mauser 27mm rapid-fire cannons. As regards anti-aircraft warfare, the class are equipped with one Mark 41 vertical launch system for 16 Sea Sparrow anti-aircraft missiles. In addition, the class is also equipped with 4 Exocet anti-ship missiles, and it is understood that when the ships are modernised, they will be replaced with 8 Harpoon missiles. For anti-submarine warfare, these frigates are equipped with 4 324mm torpedo tubes and Mark 46 torpedoes. They also normally carry 2 Sea Lynx helicopters, which are equipped with ASW torpedoes or air-to-surface missiles, and in addition carry a heavy machine gun. HMS Kent sailed from Devonport on the 22nd of May to join the Carrier Strike Group to begin a 7-month deployment to the Mediterranean, Indian Ocean and Asia Pacific. Kent's primary role will be to protect the carrier group, including other NATO warships and the fleet flagship HMS Queen Elizabeth, from air attack and submarine threats. HMS Kent was built by Yarrow shipbuilders on the Clyde and was launched on the 27th of May 1998. She was commissioned into the fleet on the 8th of June 2000 and therefore holds the distinction of being the first Royal Navy warship to enter service in the 21st century. As part of the life extension programme for the class, Kent entered Devonport for a LifeX refit in 2016, which included such modernisations as the replacing of her Seawolf missile system with Sea Sceptre. This refit took over 2 years to complete, and on the 5th of October 2018 she was recommissioned back into the fleet at Portsmouth. On the 28th of May, HMS Enterprise returned to Devonport, and she is one of the Royal Navy's 2 Echo-class survey vessels which were built at Appledore Shipyard in North Devon. She is the 10th vessel to bear the name Enterprise for the Royal Navy, The first was a 24-gun 6-rate frigate that was captured from the French in May 1705. Enterprise and her sister ship Echo were the first of 2 multi-role hydrographic survey ships commissioned, and are designed to conduct survey operations in support of amphibious operations or submarines. Like her sister, Echo has a secondary role as a mine countermeasure tasking authority platform, capable of deploying a dedicated mine countermeasures command team. HMS Echo has a displacement of 3,700 tons and is powered by 3 diesel-electric generators, which give her a maximum speed of 15 knots, or around 17 miles an hour. She has a range of 9,300 miles, and being one of the Navy's smaller vessels, with a crew of 72, has a limited endurance of 35 days before needing replenishing. HMS Enterprise's primary role is as a survey vessel, examining and mapping the seafloor to ensure that other naval vessels are ensured of safe navigation. But she also acts as a mothership for mine warfare support, for mine countermeasures vessels, and maritime security as well. HMS Enterprise's primary role is as a survey vessel, examining and mapping the sea floor to ensure that other naval vessels are ensured of safe navigation. But she also acts as a mothership for mine warfare support, for mine countermeasures vessels, and is also used in a maritime security role as well.